Hello, everybody. I am joined by Jack Sinclair, who will just get this out of the way, has had a great first level of the day here at the WSOP-E in Rozvadov main event. Before we get into the fun stuff, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I've got double what I started with an hour and a half ago, so that's pretty good considering I started with 60 big blinds. Dario Sammartino tried to bluff me, and I
thought I saw him walking away. I was like, uh-oh.
That wasn't the final hand for him, but it was like close to it. Yeah, I took a lot off him. I mean, I kind of nit rolled him with a straight, so it wasn't a bad bluff by him. But
I love it. What went down?
I defended 5-4 off and check raised 6-6-7. He called. The turn was an 8. I bet big. He called, and the river was a 9, which is not nice. And then I checked, which I think is probably a mistake. I should probably just bet really small, just because like otherwise he's going to put me in a really ugly spot. Anytime he can't beat it straight, he's just going to bet huge, which is what he did. But you know, eventually I just had to call because I don't really have many stronger hands. And he had King 7, which I was kind of surprised about. I thought that would fold the turn. If he has that in his range, then I mean I should be snapping. But yeah, I thought he would turn like kings into a bluff or something on the river or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough spot, but it's like a great spot for you then when it goes down. Okay, so this is the fun stuff. Okay, so Jack has moved in to Malta for the last couple of years. Now you're living with the real Philbort.
That's correct.
Story checks out. This is true. And I feel like your Twitter is kind of like an amazing troll of the boss that is the Philbort. So I just want you to, you know, for those who might be missing it, first of all, you need to follow Jack on Twitter because he's hysterical. And second of all, like, I want to kind of go through your guys' relationships starting like from the very early days.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, let's just get a little taste. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this was the first time I came to Rozvadov, right after I made the final table of the WSOP main. This was my first live trip after that. And I only planned to play like the 1K, 2K, 5K. And then I saw this 25K running and I was just like, whoa, I got to get in that. and
I was going to play 1Ks, but then I saw the 25K and I was like, yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good. And I remember I sold a lot for it because it was my first ever 25K. And I remember Ronnie, who's Phil's friend, took an extra 10% and he said, okay, but you have to win it. Which I did,
cool. So
that was good. And then this picture is obviously the winner's photo from that, where.
Is this Ronnie Kaiser?
Ronnie Kaiser, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, such a boss too. It's just like boss status all around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a glorious winner's picture. I'm gonna say we'll just skip this one, but I want to just throw this in so people know how adorable the Philbort is. and then somehow he just jumped on board last year.
Yes, yeah. It was like almost a year after knowing him, he finally followed me on Twitter. So you know.
He's got to get it together, dude. His game, he's too busy doing his rap poetry. He's got to get on his Twitter game.
I think that was when I finally paid him back for all the rent that I...
Now he can get in your DMs and really get after you for it. Okay, so this I think is like every poker player can relate to this, but this is not the status quo, right?
I think this is one of my best pictures I've ever taken, because you think that like you sit at a table and the 3 people you're with are Felipe Ramos, Phil Gruissem, and Mustafa Kanit. It's going to be a laugh a minute, right? Yeah. All 3 of them just instantly on their phone for like half an hour, and I'm just sitting there just like
the fact that you were able to take a picture of them just shows like how much they were not paying attention.
I mean, I think they didn't know that I was there by this point in the
Beautiful. It's beautiful. This is like belongs on the fireplace, on the mantle of every poker player as a reminder. Now this is effing hysterical. This is such a funny tweet, A, and B, is this real life? Did this really happen?
This really happened. It's still in the kitchen. It's hanging over the TV that doesn't work now.
I just love this, and I can so see Phil doing this, but also I love the very end part so that we all know where you're really coming from. Now, finally, these are a couple of little food jokes, but this was the first thing that sucked me in. WTF is going through your mind when this arrives at your flat?
I mean, I eat a lot of eggs, like a lot of eggs. Like I average like, I don't know, 4 to 6 eggs a day.
Oh, I love eggs.
When I'm at home. But even I would not even come close to ordering this many eggs. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking.
He was like just going on a straight egg diet.
But the funny thing was, he said, yeah, misclick, you know. And I'm like, you bought 1 pack of 6 and then 3 packs of like 30. And I mean, how do you click on the 6?
You misclick like 16 times in a row.
I mean, I don't know how you misclick that badly.
That's like drunk grocery shopping, I'm telling you. And then finally, I love this because I feel like my pantry also is like this, where you just like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I came back from like 2 months away, and obviously the flat was filthy. So I decided to actually clean the kitchen, and I was going through one of the cupboards, and like, you know, behind all the cobwebs and you know, dead insects, there was like, you know, this many
100 quinoa.
so much quinoa. And I've lived with Phil for over a year, and he's cooked twice.
Eggs only.
Literally twice. Yeah, I think one time he did actually cook quinoa.
So good thing he's got the reserves. He's ready for it. Anytime he gets that quinoa craving, you guys are gonna have a feast.
Yes, he's got enough quinoa for the next 100 years, I'd say.
All right, well, shout out to the man, the myth, the legend that is the real Philbort. We miss you. We wish you were here. But if we want to know what you're doing, just get on Jack Sinclair's Twitter, and you will know the inside scoop. Thank you guys so much. Good luck, of course. Glad to see the hippo just crushing it out here. I'm Sarah Herringizer with us here on PokerNews.com.